Welcome to the final technical session for the 6-day startup. So far we've covered the footwork, the punches, and today we're going to be going over all of the fundamental defenses in boxing. Today we're going to categorize it into 3 simple sections. First we're going to cover guard, then we're going to go through evasion, and we're going to finish on deflection. Again, just like the footwork and the punches, there are so many variables which we most certainly will be covering in the future. But for this 6-day startup, we just want to give you an introduction to the absolute fundamentals of boxing and the most important ABCs that you need to utilize to begin your journey. Okay, so if you've watched any boxing before, what the referee does before the fight is draws the 2 fighters to the center of the ring. As they come to the center of the ring, he greets them and he goes through a few of the rules. He doesn't read out the entire rule book of boxing, but he goes through the really important ones. One of those rules is protect yourself at all times, okay? Now, when the referee refers to protecting yourself at all times, he's referring to keep your hands up, okay? For many reasons, because there have been many circumstances which it hasn't taken place and has ended in some conflicting decisions. Nonetheless, it goes to show the importance of the guard, okay? So with your guard, again, the style that we teach is the fingertips of the temple, the elbows in and the chin down, okay? And this is most certainly a great definition of protecting yourself at all times. So what we're going to do, from that nice tight guard, we're going to visualize punches coming at us. Now, we covered all of the punches: uppercuts, straights, rips and hooks, the 4 major punches. What you want to do is, from that nice neutral guard, is visualize the receiving of those punches and then flex against them using your guard. So we're going to start off with the straight punches. If you would imagine receiving a straight punch and you want to shut the guard and absorb that punch on your guard, what you're going to do is you're going to bring your pinkies together, okay, like so. You're bringing your hands in and you're clenching your fists tight and you're bringing the elbows together and the chin comes down. And you want the lining of your knuckles to be against your forehead, okay? Imagine you'd have gloves on in this instance so that you're nice and compact. You don't want your hands separated out here, because if they hit your guard, it's gonna boop, hit you in the head, nice and tight. So imagine receiving those straight punches. You're gonna bring your elbows in, right? Knuckles onto the lining of your head, elbows in tight, and then back out again. When you come back out, you wanna come back out to neutral, not too wide. Neutral, you're shutting the guard and then back out. Shutting the guard, back out. You the chin comes down to stay nice and compact. You absorb it, you flex against it, you receive those straight punches, okay? So that's if you were receiving straights. Boom, shutting the guard, shutting the guard. We're not gonna do a whole minute of that. I'm gonna show you all of them. Then imagine receiving hooks. Imagine catching that hook, boom. So my guard, if I show you side on, is like this. If that hook comes around the side, it's most certainly going to hit me on the side of the head or the ear or the temple. So I want to be clenching my fist, bang, and lifting that hand up, okay? Likewise on the other side, boom. My palm essentially is on my ear. That's one of the best gauges I can give you. So with that nice tight guard, you're going to be going, bop, and the elbow stays in nice and tight. Boop, like that. The palm on the ear and the opposite hand goes back to neutral. Palm on the ear, opposite hand goes back to neutral. When you're receiving body rips, similar kind of concept. You're in that tight guard and you're dropping the elbow into the side to protect those ribs. Remember, there's always a little bit of space between the ribs and the guard, and they can easily slip in there. If you can anticipate the arrival of that punch and drop that elbow in so that you can catch and absorb that punch, it's much better than wearing it to the ribs. Likewise, with punches down the center, you would shut that guard. You'd bring those elbows in without dropping your hands from your head. Bring those elbows in. So essentially, it's small little manipulations of your guard to catch those punches. And a well-seasoned boxer will be able to identify when those punches are being delivered and boom, catch, 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 shut that guard, catch here, and then work off that. What we're going to do is, for 1 minute, I just want you to experiment with all of those different guard variations, okay? Protecting the ribs, dropping those elbows into your side without dropping your hands, right? Shutting the guard on the straight punches, keeping the lining of your knuckles across your forehead and the elbows coming together. Palm on the ears with the elbows in nice and tight, and of course, protecting the body shots coming down the center, okay? In a nice tight guard, you can even move around if you want to. If you're comfortable, you can move around, just nice small steps and cover, guard, guard, just mix it up. Visualize all of those punches being delivered and protect them as best as you possibly can. Let's get this done for 1 minute, guys. Excellent work. Let's move on to evasion. So if you've got the opportunity and you want to try to make your opponent miss their punches, it's really important that you learn how to evade, okay? Evasion is most effective against straight punches and hooks, okay? More often than not. Uppercuts as well. Not so much the body rips. It's very difficult to evade, body shots. Again, these are things that we'll cover in the future. So the way we're going to do it is from your nice tight guard, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to be going slip to one side, slip to the other side, and straight down, okay? Just 3 forms of evasion. Really simple stuff, okay? You want to make sure that you're using your legs as much as you can when you evade. So from that tight guard, what I'm doing is I'm collapsing my knees a little bit, I'm dropping, and I'm rolling that shoulder forward a little bit. And naturally, my head will tilt out of the way. Again, it's really good to use a mirror if you can, so you can see where your head is on the center, and you're essentially getting your head from on center to off center, from on center to off center, from on center to off center. So what I want you to do is collapse those knees a little bit, roll the shoulder forward in one direction, roll the opposite shoulder forward, and then go straight down. We're going to be doing this for 1 minute. Let's get this done, guys. Excellent. And the final form of defense that we're going to be covering is deflection. Okay, so deflection is when you're receiving a punch and you want to kind of ricochet the impact of your opponent's punch away from you. So you're not quite absorbing it, you're not completely evading it, it's kind of bringing the two together. So let's say, for example, my opponent throws a jab at me, they've thrown their left hand at me, I'm going to use the inside of my right palm to push that punch away. So as the punch is delivered, I'm just bouncing it off using the inside of my palm, okay? When they throw their right hand at me, I'll be using my left hand to parry because I want to try to parry on the outside of the shot. The parry doesn't want to be a big Mr. Miyagi wax on, wax off. It needs to be a small movement. So from that nice tight guard, what you're going to be doing is using the inside of the palm, is you're going to imagine that jab coming your way and you're just going to, boom, deflect it. And I get my head ever so slightly off the center. Boom, pushing that hand away. Imagine the punch coming, it finally arrives at the target, but you redirect it, you deflect it into another direction. Again, it's just a small movement, not too big a movement. Small deflection, you can do it with both hands, off their jab or off their cross. A really effective tool to have in boxing, to have that parry. We call it a parry. So I can parry with the right, parry with the left. Likewise, when you're receiving body shots, you can parry with the forearms and the elbows. Parry, deflecting, deflecting when they throw those straight punches to the body. Again, very small movement. So what I want you to do is with the inside of your palms, you're going to go parry with the right, parry with the left, parry with the right, parry with the left. So you're gonna go punches from upstairs and downstairs. Small movements, but assertive, all right? Small movements, but really assertive with those movements. Imagine those punches coming at you and you're bouncing them off, both to the head and to the body. Let's get this done for 1 minute, guys. Excellent work. Okay, so that's it. What we're gonna do to conclude is to bring everything together. So as we mentioned, an experience. On the first day we did the footwork, which is so important. On the second technical session we did all of the punch varieties, and today we've done all the defenses. Now we wanna bring them together. And one of the best ways to do that is to start with your footwork. Get your feet moving. That's the #1 priority. You wanna be in a constant state of movement, even if it's a little bit. Once you've got your movement on, you want to start incorporating punches, but not at the expense of your footwork. You don't start punching instead of footwork, you start punching as well as footwork. So if I'm moving around, I'm going to move around and I'm going to start blending in my punches. Jab, yeah, moving around. And making an effort to synchronize my hands with my feet. So whenever I throw my jab, it's boom. If I'm throwing that left hand, that left foot's coming forward. Likewise with my cross. If I'm going jab, I step my right foot up with that cross and I continue moving. Then I can start incorporating all of my defenses. So I might move around and throw my jab. I might parry, protect, jab, hook, continue moving with the feet. If you don't want to be too busy, you need a little bit more time to process the information, just keep your feet moving, stay busy, and when you're ready, you know what you want to do, jab, evade, continue moving, shut the guard, and then come out with a 1-2 hook. You can really start getting creative with this stuff. My recommendation is continue practicing everything individually. Do your footwork, do your punches, and then do your defenses, and then try to bring it together and be creative with it. The more experience you get, the better and more efficient you'll get at brainstorming ideas for your shadowboxing. We got an enormous library of sessions in our members area, and we have a massive amount of content free of charge on YouTube also. Please do feel free to go and have a look at that stuff, because we got so many shadowboxing ideas and drills that you can do. A lot of this stuff is going to make a lot more sense to you now as well. Now that you familiarize yourself with footwork, with the punching, with the defenses, the terminologies, etc., and the nature of the overall sport, you're going to get so much more out of your training sessions and whatever kind of tutorials that you watch in the future. Keep practicing your boxing. I look forward to doing so many more sessions together in the nearby future. All the very best. Good luck. Thank you so much for participating in the 6-day startup, and congratulations in making a start in your boxing journey. We hope the experience was valuable, fun, and challenging. We wish you all the very best in your boxing journey and can't wait to see what the future holds for you. All the best.